A lot of people ask me if I regret it, but I never make a decision that I don't want to do, like even before. So I always make the decision that I think it's right at that time. What I enjoy the most is to feel like I'm popular. You know, you go there, they'll be like, "Hi, Ray. Oh, let's enjoy it together today. Oh, do you need some drinks? Oh, there's a snack over there. Enjoy yourself and get ready." I feel like a princess. I always make sure that I have something going on, and it's not like I wanted to become a MILF or GILF, whatever it is. So I was like, I am going to quit at some point.
Welcome to Before We Get There, the podcast where we explore people's journeys, how they got to where they are, what keeps them pushing forward, and where they eventually want to get to. I'm your host, Nicholas Braman, and today I'm joined by Nuray Istiqbal. Nuray was formerly known as Rae Lil Black and has been a popular adult film star, streamer, vlogger, and more. She has recently converted to Islam, changed her name, and stopped filming in the adult industry. We talked about how she found Islam and decided to convert, what the porn industry is really like, what she enjoyed about it, and if she regrets it, how she deals with haters and negative comments, her hopes and plans for the future, and much more. Enjoy the show. Hi, Nuray. Thanks so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
It's great to see you.
Thank you so much.
What I wanted to start off with is I have seen that you're really into Muay Thai, and back in Thailand, you were training again this week. So can you share how you started in Muay Thai and what it is you like about it?
I started Muay Thai very random, actually. I came to Thailand and my friend was visiting me from Japan. And then he was like, "I want to do Muay Thai." And I was like, "Okay, my friend have a gym and they can introduce you." And then, of course, I'm going to introduce. So I went there and coach was like, "Yeah, you're going to do this, right?" I'm like, I don't like sports. So I was like, "Okay, I am not going to do this." But actually I did because they're like, "Yeah, you know what? Why don't you try?" And I actually really like it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I like Muay Thai and I do jiu-jitsu as well. Maybe you should film that sometime. Yeah,
Oh, amazing.
it's very fun.
I've never done jiu-jitsu, but inshallah.
So you never did any kind of sports before that?
Yes, gym, like lifting, weight.
And is it like you like to hit things, or is it just more for the exercise that you continue to do it?
I like Muay Thai because it's more free and then it's more complex. Doing weights is, I wouldn't say easy, but you just have to do some certain things and then you just keep doing it. It's just like a very simple routine. But Muay Thai, you have somebody, you cannot do this alone. Of course, you can do shadow boxing alone, but it's Muay Thai or like even Jiu-Jitsu or combat sports. It's with somebody and you have to keep thinking and the posture. You think that you fix the posture, but if you have somebody, it's not always you have to do this. You have to keep thinking the figure, how you land your kick or punch or everything. So it's just very hard and I like the challenge.
That's exactly what I always tell everybody about combat sports because, for example, for me, I hate running. Like it's so bored, so fast, or swimming is another example.
Yeah.
Like, you're just there by yourself, but with combat sports, you keep learning at the same time as you're getting exercise, and it's a lot more interesting to continue to do it for a long period of time.
Yeah, it's very interesting. And then you can keep having a different partner and everything changes if you have a different partner, if they're defensive or more aggressive or they're tall or short or...
So you do sparring and everything as well?
Just with a coach.
Just with a coach. Okay, cool. So maybe let's talk about, I think, what is very interesting about you finding Islam recently or in the last couple of years and having a big change in your life. What was it something that you were looking for, or was it just by chance that you started studying Islam?
I was not looking for like becoming Muslim. Obviously, nobody is, oh, someday I will be Muslim. No, it's not going to happen like this. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen like this. So 10 months ago, so many things happened. I met a lot of friends. I went to some Muslim Islamic countries like Malaysia, Indonesia, and south of Thailand, and saw some people who is respecting a lot parents a lot, or some culture that interesting for me. And I was like, okay, you know what? I have never had any chance to study Islam, so why not?
And what was it about it that interested you when you first encountered it?
Just in general, because I went to Buddhist school for 3 years, and my parents are Buddhist, and I went to Catholic school for 10 years.
Wow.
So I had a Bible study for 10 years. So I was just in general interested in Islam that I just didn't have a chance to study. So I was like, oh, it's a chance because now I have Muslim friend, and to understand people, you have to know them. You have to know what they believe or what is important to them so that I can understand their brain, what they think, how they react to some certain things. So I started to read books about Islam and how they think. And yeah.
And wow, that's a long time of Catholic school. So was that like a lot of religious study with that, or was it just a Catholic school, like a normal school, but teachers were Catholic?
It was a Catholic school, but I had a Bible study, and then every class, I had to do this, and we do some Christmas thing. We go to churches. We have church in the school, and nuns are living there.
Well, and was that in Japan?
Yeah.
But were you religious at that time, or was it just because that's where your parents wanted to go, or that was the school you were at?
Yeah. In Japan, so in public school, it's forbidden to be religious, like to teach religion. So if you go to private school where you can get a little bit better or diverse program, you have to go to the private school. And private school is most of the time religious.
I see. And so at that time then, but you didn't like really stick to the religion or follow it very closely for most of your life. Is that right?
Yeah. When you study, you have to be interested in from yourself. You have to want to know the religion, or even not even religion, but if you want to learn something, you have to want it to get into it. You just go to school and this teacher is like just talking something, blah, blah, blah. And then you're just not interested.
That's a good point. I didn't go to a religious school, but my family was quite religious Christian when I was growing up, and went to church twice a week for all of my childhood and that sort of thing, but it never stuck with me. And I think for exactly the reason that you're saying, it's like, it's something that you were forced to do or you were brought to do, and not something that you sought out yourself. So then when you started studying, and when was it that you decided to actually convert and become a Muslim?
After 6 months. After 6 months of learning, and actually like when I am not perfectionist, but when I want to do it, I want to do full. So I was like, okay, I study Islam now. So let's quit pork, let's quit alcohol, let's start praying. Not 5 times first, let's start praying, or let's start reading Quran. And I'm like 6 months of practicing. And then after that, I convert or revert.
Wow. And this year you did your Ramadan for the first time, right?
Yeah.
How is that? That always, there's a lot of Muslims in Singapore. I have Muslim friends, and it always seems like it's such an amazing challenge for it to be able to go through Ramadan.
For me, it wasn't very challenging. The people, the how do you say, the fasting itself is not so hard, to be honest with me, because it's not so long, like 13-hour, 14-hour max it was, and you can just get through it. And well, if you have a faith, it's not like we are randomly doing it. And I am not forced to fast. If you are non-Muslim and then you are just doing it for fun or just for the experience, maybe it's hard because you cannot even drink. But you are doing this for your faith. And when you are fasting, like during Ramadan, you read more and then you give more to the people. You try to help people more. And then this 14-hour, 13-hour is like, boom. It's not a long time.
So you mentioned like when you decide to do something, you want to go all the way. So,
Yeah.
for example, if you want to study Islam or follow that religion, then you need to give up pork and the other, make sure everything has halal and that sort of thing. But I think that sounds like a big change, even for somebody like me who is now eating pork and not following those rules. But for yourself, was even a bigger change because you're changing your career and a lot of other things. So how was that for you?
It's honestly, it's not a big change. I wasn't working a lot, and for me, just like from 5 shootings per year to 0. So for me, I was already thinking about quitting anyway for 2-3 years, and then for me, it was like, okay, it's a good chance to just quit.
That's great. And I've seen you've had a lot of support and encouragement and very positive comments and messages from a lot of people, but I think especially from other Muslims who are embracing you and welcoming you. How has that felt like to have all these people reach out to you and say how welcome you are to their religion?
It's amazing. Especially Islam is a very community-based religion. And I think from my understanding, Islam is the religion for weak or somebody who is feeling lonely. Religion itself is like this, but especially Islam, I think a lot of teaching is to help people, and as a community, we have to help. And it's an obligation. Like, for example, we have to give percentage of our income, and it's obligation. And we have to fast, and that's obligation. As a community, we have to do so many things. And I think I have never had before. And I think it's very beautiful because I thought I can live alone. It's okay. I don't care about community, but having all those people is actually brought some change in me. And that makes me want to contribute to the society more.
That's awesome. Have you had any negative feedback? People who are saying that maybe you're doing it for the wrong reasons or it's publicity or anything like that?
Of course, every single day. If you check the comments on my Instagram, TikTok, whatever platform it is, you will see a lot.
And how are you dealing with that?
I don't care. Because ultimately, not even only Islam, but for me, the religion or faith is between individuals and God. I respect others people's faith, and that's not what I can interfere. And to me also, even though people are saying something very nasty, my faith is for me and between God, me and between God, and that's my faith. So whatever they say, it's okay because it doesn't affect my faith because how they handle my faith is not my problem.
I guess probably even you would have had maybe people who made very rude comments or talked very badly about you, right? So is that something you were already used to as well?
You will never get used to it so much, but I just think that how they handle things is their problem because it's my life and why they have to handle my life, right? I'm like, yeah, okay, just their problem is not my problem. And I always had this like mentality. So now it's stronger because of my faith, but yeah.
And now that you've converted and you have this faith that you feel very strongly about, do you feel regret, or do you wish that you had found it earlier or had not done adult films in your past? Or is it all part of the package and it's made you who you are today, and you believe that God or Allah has accepted you as you are now with all of that included?
A lot of people ask me if I regret it, but I never make a decision that I don't want to do, like even before. So I always make the decision that I think it's right at that time or in every point that I make a decision. Past me thought that it's a right. I am not going to deny because it's not that I force myself to do it. So I cannot regret because at that time, I think that is the right decision. Right now, it's not the thing that I am proud of, but that doesn't mean I am regretting everything. Of course, I want to become better and I want to change, but what I did, I cannot change and I cannot keep thinking about it.
That's a great perspective. I think that's all of us, any of us can do, is to make the best decision at the time with the place that we're at.
Yeah. And then why use your time for regretting? Of course, you can regret a little bit if you want to. And I sometimes, okay, that was not clever, but I prefer to use my time for the future or like myself right now rather than the past.
And I was also wondering if you think that your faith that you have now, would it be as strong as it is if you didn't have the past that you do?
I don't even know if I don't have my past, I might not be a Muslim right now because I moved to Thailand because I was tired of doing adult film in Europe. So I just moved here. That made me visit Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore. So without that, I have never visited, or maybe it was not this time. And I maybe missed the chance to be guided. So everything is connected.
Yeah, everything comes about in its own way. Was that the first time that you'd been to Southeast? I know you've been in Thailand, but visiting Indonesia, Malaysia, was that the first time you've been around this area?
Yeah.
And that was another interesting thing that I wanted to ask you, because I have seen that you like to eat a lot of spicy food, which isn't super common for Japanese people. So how did you discover you liked spicy food?
I have always liked, my family loves spicy food. I think Japanese people love spicy food. Or not?
I don't know. I may be eating at the wrong places when I visit Japan.
Yeah, we have a lot of spicy. It's not like everywhere, but the people who love spicy food, they can go like really spicy.
Really spicy. So out of because when I moved to Singapore, It's unfortunately in the US, when I grew up there, we had Japanese, Korean, Vietnamese,
Mm,
Thai, but Malaysian, Indonesian, this kind of Southeast Asian food was
mm,
never exposed to it before. And I think now it's grown to be like one of definitely my top three or even top two
favorite.
favorite cuisines.
Mm,
The coconut rice and all of the dishes and the curries, the rendang that goes with it. I know you've said in the past that Japanese was your favorite because you ate
mm,
it every day for
mhm.
so long. What about outside of Japanese food? What are some of your favorite foods?
I don't have any specific actually, but if it's rice based, I love anything which goes well with rice. Of course, East Asian dishes, all nasi based thing, I love.
That's yeah. I, all the sauces they go so well with rice.
Yeah,
Impossible to eat without rice.
yeah. Like I'm not a big fan of bread. So for me, Asia is where my where I belong.
But you survived for so long in Europe, right?
Yeah, I got depressed. I was like, I cannot do this forever. I'm like, what should I do?
Do you cook at all yourself, or do you make
Yeah, I
Chinese
cook.
dishes?
I cook some ingredients different, and it's so expensive in Europe. And like, why do I have to pay so much for this basic dish? And I was like, no, this is not it. This is not the life I wanted.
That's why Thailand is a great place to move to.
Mhm.
I also saw that you like to do like adventurous things like bungee jumping and
Mhm.
skydiving. And in the past, you've done some vlogs and a lot of cool travel video. What was your favorite place that you've been to or your favorite adventure?
This is also a very difficult question for me because I think that every country have pros and cons, and who you going with or who you are meeting with there, and what kind of food, what kind of people you will be surrounded by. Everything will make your experience good or bad. It can be who you meet, how you're gonna digest. So for me, every country is special, and I am not gonna be like, oh, this is top number one. I don't like to rank countries by countries. Like,
Wanted to ask you about your TED Talk because I also work with the TEDx Singapore team.
mm,
And I think that was a really cool thing did. How was that experience?
interesting, because I never thought that I will be invited, or I never thought that people would be interested in listening to me talking. I think I have a mm, interesting experiences in my life, and I can also talk about some certain things that I have experienced, but I never thought that public, it's not a big, small stage. And I never thought that this many people wants to listen to me talking. And that was very interesting.
And actually, in that talk, you were also talking about hate messages and that
Mm,
sort of thing as well, right? So, going back, you mentioned earlier that especially the Muslim community has a real sense of belonging and made you feel very welcome and part of something bigger than yourself. Just looking at it from the outside, knowing nothing about the industry, but it seems like maybe the adult film industry would be like very opposite of that. Maybe people are very money driven or
oh,
look out for
that's
themselves a lot.
that's a very judgmental thought, I think.
It's not correct.
It's I say this to every podcast because I did podcasts with a lot of people, some Christian, Muslim. They always say, "Oh, did you change because industry was so bad? Is it right, correct?" I'm like, I never talk about my industry because I've always treated right. People are always nice to me. They always care about me, and it's contract based. So you read a contract, and you sign the contract. So what is the problem? I check. I have a law degree. So I check all the time. I agree. And I sign. If I once I sign, it's my responsibility. So I have never felt, oh, they pay so little because I agree to it. I cannot say, oh, you pay so less, you have a lot of view just because you got a view later. Because I agree already to get paid one time for, let's say, for example, per day, this, and then later, I cannot just say that.
Yeah, definitely. That's good to hear that you always felt that it was a positive experience. So would you say that you enjoyed your career while you were during that time?
It's also a hard question because what I enjoy the most is to feel like I'm popular. You go there. Let's say when I was the first 2, 3 years, I was not popular. Like I didn't have enough followings, but still you have makeup artists and they will pick you up with a car. If you arrive, they will like, hi, Ray. Oh, let's enjoy it together today. Oh, this is a makeup artist. You can wait here. Oh, do you need some drinks? Oh, there's a snack over there. Enjoy yourself and get ready. Like, yeah, I have never experienced something like this. And I feel like, I feel like a princess. I really like that. I never had bad experiences. And I was like, okay. I never had many friends, but now I feel like, it's fun. Like not acting itself, but I just like that everybody is kind of warm and the working in the same place together, and it's like a team.
So that you said the first few years you weren't very popular, but you became a lot more well known. And so then did that treatment you talked about, being treated like a princess, did that get even go up to another level?
No, same.
And then over the last few years, but you've taken a little bit of a step back and done
Yeah,
less movies
I
and
didn't
less
really.
films.
I didn't produce so much.
And was that for personal reasons that you weren't enjoying it as much, or is it just that you had enough other income streams to not need to do that? Or
Yeah, it was never like people ask me like, oh, now you quit porn and how do you make money? But it was never a one income. I always make sure that I have something going on, and it's not like I wanted to become a MILF or GILF, whatever it is. So I was like, I am going to quit at some point. Yeah.
and yeah, because you've done a lot of YouTube stuff and
Yeah.
TikTok and like you
TikTok,
mentioned,
and then I was a Twitch streamer at some point, like 2 years, and I have a lot of merchandise.
and is that feeling of, because I think being a creator is maybe you have a team sometimes or you have people you're working with, but especially like Twitch, for example, maybe you're just sitting there in front of the computer by yourself, playing games and talking to your streams. Do you still have that feeling of being popular that you mentioned earlier?
I don't feel popular even now. I don't think I'm popular, but I felt popular.
Do you think that feeling is as important to you now, or is it just because you were very young when you started?
Popularity is not really what I was looking for anyway, I think. But I just like that I had attention. But popularity itself was okay.
And so now that you have moved on, do you have plans for a future career or what you want to do?
Hopefully, I can become a wife. Inshallah. Please, ya Allah, please help me. But I don't know. My life didn't change so much because I wasn't drinking alcohol so much. And I don't go out really. I don't like party. I hate clubbing. I don't like I am not a very outgoing person, and I was always reading books at home, or I'm a very chill person. So life itself didn't change, but now that I have to find some different career, it's going to be so different. But I am still new to Islam, and I am still new to Muslim community, and I am still looking for what I can do, like in halal way. Mm.
And so currently you just came to, you visited Indonesia. Was it just Indonesia or Indonesia and Malaysia?
Indonesia only.
Indonesia. And so you have been doing some events where you're talking about your conversion and that sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
And how have those been?
So it was actually not only event, but it was like a lot of studying, like group studying, because in Islam there is like a group learning class, or a lot. I did a lot of podcast. I visited some school that this foundation have, and I listened to some program that they are doing, and I met a lot of teachers there, and get to meet a lot of teachers for future, so that I can study. And this was not only about me talking about my conversion, but it was more like experiencing Muslim culture and knowing what kind of community they have, and seeing how like devoted Muslim people are and stuff. And I live in Thailand. It's not like majority people are Muslim, so I have never heard azan. And if you go to mosque, yes, I hear, but it's not like you sitting inside of the house and you listen. So for me, I never thought that I can have education like this, or there's like Muslim community learning together every morning, or yeah, it was very interesting, and that really motivated me to learn more and study more and to become better Muslim.
Yeah, the prayers are so beautiful, even for someone who doesn't understand any of it. But I think the first time I ever heard it, I was in maybe Macedonia and here in Southeast Asia. And when you hear the prayers, it's very beautiful. So I can imagine if you're somebody who feels very strongly about the faith, that it would really have a strong effect on you.
It's special.
Do you have any advice for people who maybe are interested in Islam? I know it's new to you as well, or maybe just interested in any religion, that they haven't been religious before or haven't been very devout before, about what should they think about, or how they should proceed to explore this new kind of faith?
I think it depends on people, because if you are interested, you will go for it. I think if you really want it, you start it. If you're not starting, your interest is not enough. I think maybe it sounds harsh, but wait until your interest take you to the next step. And then if you take this first step, it will go like this, or you stop. It's either way, if you want to go farther or not. It was not my thing. You have to start or don't.
And even now thinking back, because again, like you mentioned, this has happened, I think, within the last year or so.
Yeah.
Do you ever pause and think, wow, things have changed a lot for me? Or is it more of an exciting feeling about looking forward to what's going to happen next?
It's an excited. I'm just interested. I was interested, and I thought I became Muslim because I thought I can be a better person by practicing it. That's why I became Muslim. Of course, I read a lot of stories and stuff, but the core reason why is to become a better person, and to have better life, and to live easier. So that's why I became Muslim. Yeah.
Can you explain what you mean by live easier?
So there are of course, in Islam, so many teachings, and there are a lot of stuff in Quran that teaches you about life. It's not only about the story, but the Quran teaches you about life. Like, for example, not only Quran, there's a book called Hadith that you, it's a little bit more detailed, what to do, what not to do. For example, about social media, and I get a lot of hate. And then I always believe that speak good or remain silent. This is one teaching in Islam. Speak good or stay silent. And I do really believe in this because, because there is no good thing about saying dirty things from your mouth, because that makes you a dirty person. And patient is very important in Islam. So whatever they say, I stay silent. If I can, if by saying something makes me a better person, I say it or I defend myself. But if I cannot say something beautiful more than silent, I don't say it, because I think that is making me a better person. I don't like when people say, "Ah, you stupid bitch," whatever, and then I don't want to say, "Oh, you too." No. I want to stay away from this. So to stay away from this, some of the teaching of Islam is helping me. And then also something like in Islam, the only person who can judge you is Allah. I have been judged all my life. And of course, I am mentally not so weak. I am strong, I think. But believing in this makes me stronger and easier, because whatever they say, they cannot judge me because they don't see what I am going through or what I've been through. But the God have been watching me from the beginning. And of course, he can judge me because he knows what I did, what's in my heart. But people cannot judge because how do they know what's in my heart? Right? So this kind of small things makes me so easy. And also the faith is very important in Islam. Everything is Allah's plan. And I was very perfectionist. And if I make a mistake, I was blaming myself so much. Oh, I should have worked harder. I should have done this because I'm stupid, because maybe I'm worthless, maybe because I am something. But now that I am a Muslim, I can say, oh, okay, I made a mistake. I failed because it was not meant to be. It was not my plan. It was not how Allah prepared. And okay, it's easy for me to let things go right now.
That's great. Thank you for sharing. And I think I also saw that you had a very good perspective, I think that you posted before, about when people would say something to you like, oh, why don't you just delete all your social media, or why do you keep posting and showing your life, or that sort of thing. Can you maybe share a bit about that?
Yeah. So, of course, what I did in the past can lead some people to that thing. Sure. But also, Islam have a lot of hate. Like, I didn't know how much people hate Islam. So by showing how happy or how positive I am taking Islam is, maybe I thought I can change a little bit, like other people's perspective a little bit more. Like, it's not only about oppressed. A woman is oppressed. You have to pray all the time. You have to do fasting. But I am happy to do fasting, and I am become a better person. And you don't need to feel so much hate towards Islam. And I have a lot of non-Islamic following, and by this, I thought I can contribute a little bit to change. Even one person can change perspectives.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of baggage and stigma on religion and politics and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
A lot of Americans are not even that aware, maybe, that there's a huge population of Muslims in Southeast Asia and Indonesia and Malaysia. One final question before we wrap up. I like to ask all my guests, if I talk to you again in 5 years, what would you like to be able to tell me has happened between now and then that would make you feel like you have been successful?
I just want to become a better Muslim. I just want to keep studying. When in Islam, you say keep istiqomah. Is steadfast. You keep steadfast. Because Islam is a lifetime journey. And it's not like today I did 5 times praying and I helped some people. That doesn't make me a good Muslim. You have to keep doing it. You have to be a good person every day, and you have to keep repenting every day. So in 5 years, if you ask me like what you have done, I just want to say that, I tried my best every day until I came here. Of course, I failed something, but I tried my best to become better. And hopefully, good mom, maybe good wife, inshallah.
That's good. I think that's a great goal for all of us. Thank you so much again for joining me, Nara. It was great to talk to you.
Thank you so much.
And great to learn from you about your story. We'll talk again soon.
Thank you.
Okay, bye. Thank you for listening to Before We Get There with your host, Nicholas Braman. Please like and subscribe on YouTube and your favorite podcast platforms like Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You can also find us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at Before We Get There Podcast. New episodes are released every other Thursday morning. See you next time.